Well met, Rook.
How did you get here?
I did tell you I had my ways through Illuvians when I introduced you to the Inquisitor, did I not?
The Illuvians in general, yes, but not the Dreadwolf's Crossroads.
I would think you have more pressing questions at the moment. Questions about Solus and Mythal?
Mythal?
The two gods have always been linked, have they not? First, when Mythal bade her companion spirit to abandon the Fade and take on mortal form. Then, when Solus spilled Mythal's mortal blood, that he might absorb her power as his own.
Wait, how do you know exactly what we saw of Solus's past?
Think upon it, Rook. You saw for yourself in the Dreadwolf's memories. When Mythal stood against the gods' manipulations of the Blight, she was betrayed and struck down. Yet she survived and returned ages later to aid the Inquisition in its hour of need. How?
So, if Mythal was originally a spirit, maybe that's how she survived her body's death.
Very good. Mythal was a spirit turned elven. And when her body was struck down, to spirit she returned. Her essence sheltered in a willing mortal vessel. Over the centuries, she journeyed from host to host, slowly amassing her former power anew. Until once again, she was struck down, on this occasion, by Solus. He absorbed her power, but not her memories.
Then where did they... Wait. You?
As you say.
Assuming you are who you say you are, how much is a fourth elven god gonna complicate things?
Only as much as you may allow.
What? That was like how Elgranon and Gillinan can talk in your head, but...
'Twas Mythal you heard, her echoes. Yet I am not the goddess returned.
What are you then?
I once feared Mythal would consume me were I to carry her, but 'twas not so. I remained free-willed and mortal. What I now possess is but a spark of Mythal, shadowed memories through which to sift for meaning. As to our admixture, I suspect you have questions.
How can you carry Mythal's soul if you're not an elf?
Her spark has sheltered within both elves and humans who were sympathetic to her in thought and circumstance. Mythal's last host was a woman wronged, trapped by those sworn to love her. We may readily imagine their kinship.
You would have met Solus in the Inquisition, right?
I did indeed. 'Twas before I possessed Mythal's memories. At the time, I thought Solus a scowling elven apostate whose sole passion was finding arguments. He heard me, in all my ignorance, expound on the histories of the elven people, explaining legends he had witnessed himself.
Bet he loved that.
'Tis not a memory that brings me pride.
So, there's the soul of an elven god inside you. How does that even happen?
Mythal's last host was my mother, Flemeth.
Oh.
When I learned she intended me to become the next receptacle of an ancient god's soul, I feared naught would be left of my own. It inevitably came to pass on a deep night. I was awakened by the presence of a blaze of magic in the shape of a woman who both was and was not my mother.
This isn't the strangest thing I've heard, but it's close.
'Tis difficult to describe, even now. Mythal's memories were both gift and burden, this blazing woman told me, but I must accept them of my own accord. The decision was paralyzing. What would it mean to become such a host? What would be lost if I refused? In the end, 'twas something in my mother's voice, which guided me.
What was that?
Regret. Not the regret of a god, but of a mother who knew she would never see me again. And so, my mind remains my own. What I gained was knowledge, both Mathal's and of those who bore her.
Do you have information we can use against Gillenane or Elganon? Or Solus?
The last time Mathal faced Elganon and Gillenane, she was struck down by the very dagger you now carry.
What about Solus?
You may recall he murdered Mathal's former host to claim her godly might as his own. I hoard no untapped magical secrets, Rook. What I do possess, I share freely with you and the Veil Jumpers.
All right. You didn't come out here just to tell me you're Mathal.
I am not Mathal in her entirety, but yes. The Dreadwolf has occasion to visit you in dreams, where he portions out advice. And now, after finding his memories, you have peered into his deepest sorrows. Tell me then, what do you make of Solus?
I should ask you. Mathal knew Solus better than anyone.
I would influence your answer. Or do you mean to discover if I would stand directly against the Dread Wolf were there a need?
Would you?
I shall aid you in any way but that, even had I the power. What has passed between Solus and Mathal? I beg you, do not ask this of me again.
Every decision he made, Solus thought he could save people, stop things from getting worse. Now his only way forward is a plan so terrible his last friends had to stop it.
An unfortunate belief that all paths are closed but those one has already taken.
There might have been a better choice.
'Tis not malice which made Solus your opponent, but conviction, a belief that only he may halt what he set in motion. Yet Solus was once beloved of Mathal. 'Tis his very loyalty and love for his people that led to the tragedy we now face. You may be in a position to determine how it ends, more so than either of you might realize.
Well, that's not terrifying at all.
You have been thrust into the lives of gods. Fate will have its way, whether or without our permission.
Even more comforting, Morrigan.
If you would shape the outcome of your battle, I've one last secret to share. When Mathal was struck down by the other gods, it was with her own lyrium dagger, the dagger you now carry. Solus recovered it from Elganon, and from it extracted a fragment of Mathal that had lain hidden within its depths. This fragment, a younger sister to the one I carry, if you will, resides here, in the crossroads. I can open the way for you. Find her, survive the encounter, and the essence you obtain will aid you in times to come.
Another fragment of Mathal? In addition to the one inside you?
You are aware of what the word fragment means, are you not? One small piece of many, formed when something greater is broken. The first elves were spirits, as you well know, and when a spirit is broken, it may shatter into pieces, each holding part of the original. Among the ancient elves who became known as gods, Dirthaman and his brother, Falondine, are but one example.
All of that sounded great until survived the encounter.
You know Solus, and have seen Elganon, and memories of Mathal. They are creatures of emotion, as all spirits are. The fragment of Mathal that resides in me lived among mortals for thousands of years. She has grown wiser and more patient. This younger sister has not. She is the essence of Mythal as a god. She is unlikely to listen to polite requests, and though she is but a fragment of the goddess, the battle will test you sorely.
If she's just going to attack us, why tell us about her at all? We have enough enemies already.
A fragment of a god's essence is a powerful thing. It may give you options against Algernon and Gellanane, or against the Dread Wolf himself, should he prove as cunning and treacherous as ever.
You would know this aspect of Mythal better than anyone. Could you try talking to her?
I dare say she would attack me on sight.
Spirits can't get along with fragments of each other?
Spirits, certainly. But the aspects of a self-righteous god who have walked different paths for ages? One bears the insult of her betrayal by the Evanuris, and then by Solus, as fresh wounds, insult upon injury. The other once fell in love with an Alamari chieftain and lived happily in a swamp for centuries. Each reminds the other that another path existed, that they could have been wrong, and nothing angers Mythal like being wrong.
If I were to try to talk with her, do you have any suggestions?
She will demand respect, but detest flattery. She appreciates righteous anger, but will not tolerate pity. She is, for want of better phrasing, prickly. But if you are determined to try, then I wish you luck.
What kind of spirit was Mythal before she became an elf? I know Solus is elven for pride.
Mythal enjoyed ruling and having power, but it came not from the overweening desire to crush resistance, as is the case with Algernon. The emotion that inspired her might best be described as benevolence, a guiding hand, inclined to kindness. But like any spirit, when angered or twisted against her purpose, a more violent aspect arose. Where the Dreadwolf's wisdom gave way to pride when the world did not meet his standards, Mythal's benevolence gave way to retribution. After all, when kindness fails, the guilty must be punished.
Thank you for the information, Morgan.
I only ask that you reflect upon what I have said. The Dreadwolf is not so apart from the world as he thinks. There, you have the advantage of him.
Brother, eu vou tomar um supapo.
A god's fragment, sharper than the whole. Prevail, or be sundered completely.
We're getting close to where Morgan said that other fragment of Mythal was. That has to be her.
How should we do this, Rook? Do you think she'll talk to us?
Guess we'll find out.
You are Rook. I have seen you and your companions. I never thought to see children of the Titans scurrying about in the Dreadwolf's crossroads. And you know who I am.
Mythal.
The part of me that survived betrayal by the rest of the Evanuris, if this can be called surviving. Solus. He drew me from the dagger that struck me down, but what is left of me can only survive here. I cannot return to the world, and even the true Fade is denied me. All I can do is watch. Have you come to avenge the Titans from whom you were born? Or did you come to ask me to give up what remains of myself to help you defeat the monsters Elganan and Gillenane have become?
I came here to ask for your help. The gods have endangered the world and...
You dare explain to me what they are doing? You are 1,000 years from knowing the proper words.
We saw Solas's memories, his regrets.
You saw the recollection he cultivated like a tree, twisting to catch the sun. You wish for my help? Convince me. Make your case, and I will yield my essence willingly to help you against Elganan and Gillenane. Fail, and I shall kill you for wasting my time, or you will kill me and obtain my essence in doing so. A harder-edged, simpler version. It has been centuries since a petitioner stood before me, so why should I help you?
If I don't stop the gods, the whole world will be corrupted by the Blight.
That is why you must succeed, so tell me why I must help you.
We know
Yes.
the truth about the Blight. We know it came from the imprisoned dreams of the Titans after you and Solas defeated them.
And?
And the Blight only happened because of what you did. You need to fix your mistake.
My mistake? I saved lives and ended a war, you petulant child. Your words are weak. Prove your worth or die.
Que problemão, hein, cara?
Get ready.
Right. Of course, she's a big dragon.
45, né? Foder. E é claro que ele é level alto, né? Tá. Não. Não, tudo bem. Eu entendo. Eu não vou batalhar contra você, sua piranha. Que é sua culpa, porra!
That has to be her.
Mythal herself. There's so much we could learn if...
If I... Stopping the Blight mattered enough for you to talk with Solas even after he rebelled against you. It mattered enough for you to stand against the other gods.
And I was struck down for doing so, betrayed by those I had ruled beside for centuries.
You made the difficult choice to protect your home because it was the right thing to do. Help me do the same.
Not bad, but not enough. Let us speak of something else.
You can't want Elganon and Gillenane to rule the world. Not after what they did to you.
I ruled alongside them for centuries. I bear them no love now, and they were ever flawed, as all rulers are. Yet the world needs rulers. So set the Blight aside and tell me why I should help you topple them.
Caralho, parça.
We don't need gods of any kind protecting us.
Is that so? You are a petulant child who complains that your room does not have enough pretty toys. You've no idea how many monsters lurk outside the walls of the house your parents created to keep you safe. Your words are weak. Prove your worth.
Ah, qual é? Vai tomar no teu cu, porra! Ela é mala, hein?
Get ready.
Right. Of course, she's a big...
Tomar no teu cu, velho. Qualquer coisa. Essas palavras é fraca. Fraca é o seu, vagabunda. Você que morre pros outros. Ah, toma no cu. Inferno.
That has to be her.
Mythal herself. There's so much we could learn if...
You
Yet
How am I supposed to just set the blight aside?
by making an argument not related to it as I asked you to.
The blight is a core part of who they are. And I don't think you're in favor of it.
Not bad, but not enough. Let us speak of something else.
If I don't stop the gods, the whole world will be corrupted by the blight.
That is why you must succeed, so tell me why I must help you.
We know the truth about the blight. We know it came from the imprisoned dreams of... Stopping the blight mattered enough for you to talk with Solus even after he rebelled against you. It mattered enough for you to stand against the other gods.
And I was struck down for doing so, betrayed by those I had ruled beside for centuries.
You made the difficult choice to protect your home because it was the right thing to do. Help me do the same.
If you wish to prove your worth, you must do better than that.
I am worthy of your help.
That is for me to judge.
I am fighting to protect this world.
Any petty tyrant can fight those who come to their land and claim to be protecting their people. What is a protector to you?
It's making a place that's safe for everyone. That means defending against danger. But it also means building a strong community that works together for the common good.
And what have you built?
Look at my team. We're not just hired blades. We started as strangers and grew together into a family.
My patience wears thin. Choose your next words carefully. Why must I give myself over to you?
Solus is helping me.
Solus is using you. Besides, why should I esteem the Dreadwolf's approbation? He rebelled against me.
But the two of you stayed close.
Until he killed the tattered fragment of me who hid inside the human swamp witch and wept. He keeps me here, yet has not visited since waking from his slumber. Tell me this. What should I have done when Solus turned against me after all we had been to one another?
Ah, essa aí é.
Maybe you should have listened when he warned you about staying on as rulers after the war.
Are you saying I was wrong?
You asked me what you should have done. I can't prove my worth by lying to you. Solus didn't want to manifest a physical body or destroy the Titans. He did things he hated because he cared about you. Supporting you and Elgranon becoming rulers was the one line he wouldn't cross. If someone who followed you everywhere refused to follow you there, what does that say?
Your arguments are compelling. I find you worthy, Rook. I have spent thousands of years watching. I shall miss that. But if what I am can protect the innocent and smite the guilty, this is what remains of me. I give it to you freely. Use it to protect this world with kindness when possible and cunning when necessary.
I will. Thank you.
I offer one further boon. I cannot enter the physical world or the pure Fade, but in this place, I still carry some power. Evil has intruded here. The Blight, seeded by Elganon and Gillenane. Find it, and when you meet your greatest challenge, I will fly one last time.
The essence of a god.
Thalanast.
Like a piece of the sun. I've never felt something so alive.
I don't want to ruin the moment, but what do we do with it?
A god knows her moment. At least, her essence does. When the time comes, we'll be ready. We did it! We got Mythal's essence.
And we didn't even have to fight her.
Not sure what we do with it just yet, but if Morgan's telling the truth, it'll come in handy at some point.
Não vou lutar com o dragão, não. Você tá louco? Você tá louco?
No, I know. It doesn't make any sense, but it works.
Wouldn't the connection to the lyrium cause...
The veil to rupture? Not if you're careful. Really, really careful.
Rook, good to see you. Belara was telling me about one of the artifacts she calmed. Her manipulation of the Hylic spheres put some circle mages I know to shame.
Oh, that's so nice. Really?
Belara, repairing the Illuvian network alone is worth a thesis.
Have you run into anything like it before?
Not at all. The principles are familiar, but the application, the finesse. Though admittedly, my interests lie more with the spirits. Look to Belara for elven magic expertise.
She came right in and started talking about interstitial resonance and stuff.
Yes, not everyone who's self-taught bothers with complex theory.
Well, thank you.
That said, I've noticed you working at all hours on that artifact.
Really? I don't think it's all ours.
And you're either the first to wake, or you simply aren't sleeping some nights.
Thank you, Professor, but I'm fine. Mostly.
You don't seem that certain.
Well, when you're in the Fade, there's no sun or moon. So I tend to lose track of time. Just a little bit.
So, you sleep more regularly outside the Fade?
Well, sometimes, maybe. But we're in Solas's old home. There's so much to learn.
And we've time to learn it. But in order to do that, you must take care of yourself.
Not that Solus should be any kind of example, but even he slept. You can too.
Sometimes I can't. Fall asleep, I mean. My thoughts get in the way.
Perhaps I can help.
With sleeping?
Yes, I can teach you some breathing exercises, the ones we show initiates.
Oh, that's very nice, thank you.
Of course. We must look out for one another.
And thank you too, Rook.
Anytime.
Okay, I am going to relax. Right away. But first, I had another question.
I thought you might.
So, Tosh, you're the dragon hunter of this outfit.
Yep. And you do monsters.
Seems our work's going to overlap.
No, it's not. I handle dragons. You kill monsters. And darkspawn.
Dragons are monsters.
What? No, dragons are natural. Been around longer than we have. Darkspawn and monsters are just Vashidon that came later.
Fair enough, but I'll handle any archdemons we meet.
Fine. But I get to help.
Boas.
Hey, Harding?
Oh, Rook, hi. Is there something you need?
Valara made snacks. Seems like you could use one. Food always makes me feel better.
I could use some cheering up, actually.
It's Solus's memory, isn't it?
They stole Titan blood to walk the world like humans. And when the Titans didn't like that, they just took their spirits. Should I be angry or sad? Why aren't I angrier? It's a lot to handle.
I want to say I know how you feel, but I don't. I'm not connected to the stone like you are.
And still, I feel like I don't have all the pieces of the puzzle. It's strange. I don't hate Solus for this, even though a part of me thinks I should. I don't even want revenge. Revenge won't bring the Titans back. It can't erase what happened. And the Inquisitor thinks Solus can be saved. And I want to try. But I just want to talk. As equals. I wonder if he's even capable. Solus was always distant. Guess it's hard to react when a magic rock's talking at you. Anyway, thanks for checking on me. I'll be all right.
I know. You're Lace Harding, child of Titans. You can handle anything.
Oh, shut up.
Caralho!
You're keeping an eye on me. Is it the demon or the mage killer name?
Maybe I want the secrets of your coffee supplier.
That's not...
Don't flatter yourself too much. I don't trust anyone on first meeting, and I keep an eye on everything.
Well, if you do want coffee, let me know.
É, tem certos personagens que não dá pra jogar junto, né, mano? E não vai rolar também, eu não vou ficar me esforçando pra isso, não.
Let's ask Myrna and Vorgoth about these hauntings.
I'd also appreciate it if we could see to those displaced wisps. Now, despite what you may have heard, spirits who dwell here do so willingly. Most of our working dead are animated by unthinking wisps, which are little more than impulses from the Fade. But later...
Thank you for coming, Rook. We're in need of your assistance.
Your letter spoke of hauntings?
Malign spirits freed by the gods.
They have concretized into a variety of forms. Left unchecked, these spirits will cause great harm.
They must be put to rest.
This haunting was once a spirit of curiosity.
It has turned to a darker purpose. Prepare yourselves.
Let's see if we can figure this out. Let's see if we can figure this out. We got it. Here's one of those scattered wisps you mentioned, Emmerich.
It's out of alignment. Let's find a receptacle for it while it recovers.
The door's locked. Maybe it'll open if we bring more wisps.
Probably just more corpses inside.
They're powerfully warded. Yet someone passed through these doors not long ago.
We must keep... Rook, Professor, a new group of Venatori.
The gall of them.
They come and serve.
We'll put a stop to that.
The shrouded halls have been wrapped in
There we go.
ever more to do.
Is that it? Thought we needed another wisp to unlock that door.
Right. Let's look around. That did it. That last wisp's unlocked this door. Let's take a look.
Right ahead.
Those Venatori were killed about a day ago. How'd they end up in a locked room?
An excellent question.
tight.
Stand back. Are you Venatori? Are there sniffing rats? What form have you all? This vault's riches are mine. I tore them from the dead, and with me, they will remain.
Demon!
And a powerful one, to have been kept behind such ancient locks instead of simply banished.
Let's search around. Maybe the Venatori knew something. This note says the door's seals are tied to demons out in the world. Killing them unseals the door, but they'll keep returning until we destroy whatever's behind the door itself.
Can't let a bunch of demons run loose. Not even here.
The Order would be grateful. I've never even heard of this spirit.
Let's keep an eye out.
Watch yourself.
You don't burn, you're dead?
This place is messed up.
I suppose the displays of the Grand
Why play with corpses? Just burn them like normal people.
Got him good there. Enemies afraid.
They're firing at us!
That's the last of them.
Thank you again for coming. My duties include tending to these rites of remembrance. Excellent. Manfred found his way down. Very good, Manfred.
He sounds excited.
I thought we'd start the rites here. A tableau of the dead, commissioned 173 years ago. These lives were flickers against the ages, precious, fragile, and finite. Now they serve as a warning. Don't linger overlong in the gloom. Live with grace and fervor while you may.
It's like being in a very, very specialized museum.
Yes, but the purpose of the tableau...
Wait, did one just move?
That one's livelier. Here. Who were you when you breathed above?
This body was a tailor's, a mother's. She laughed and taught and wove the robes kings wore when they were crowned.
Tja. Someone must realign her thoracic vertebrae. I hope the novices are inspecting the displays.
Seems disrespectful to abandon something you built.
Precisely. No wonder there's been an uptick in hauntings.
Wait, what?
Let's continue.
So what now?
We light candles in remembrance of the dead. Would you care to light the candle, Rook? Look at this. The last tomb of the Tannhausens. A very influential family in the Storm Age.
We broke the bones of dragons.
A posthumous motto. Their last heir met his match against a Highland Ravager.
Death by dragon? I'm surprised there was enough to bury.
Do you know, I never expected that the door we found back in the Vault of the Beloved would lead here.
So the necropolis actually shuffles its rooms around?
From time to time. Very unlikely to happen while we're inside a chamber. Could you light the next candle? Aha! One of my favorite flowers! A variegated weeping widower.
You know your plants.
Oh, alchemy is my hobby. It's a break from teaching spirit calling and theoretical applied metaphysics.
If you ever want a side job, the crows are always looking for new potions.
Yes, as I recall, you're rather famous for it. This way, Rook.